welcome one of the world's most respected, most admired visionary leaders, the Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister.
Jai Shri Ram.
All right, so the Indian Prime Minister arrived in Trinidad and Tobago as part of his five-nation tour that aims to strengthen and also bolster ties with other nations of the global south. Now, on his arrival at the Piarco International Airport, the Indian Prime Minister was given a very ceremonial guard of honor. And then he was welcomed by his Trinidadian counterpart, Kamala Prasad Bisesar, and her entire cabinet, which includes 38 ministers and 4 members of the parliament. So the entire cabinet gave a historic welcome to the Indian Prime Minister by wearing Indian attire. And after this, the Indian Prime Minister received a grand welcome from the Indian Diaspora with a Bhojpuri Chautaal in Port of Spain. And later, both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Bisesar took part in a community event at the National Cycling Velodrome in Kovar, where the Indian Prime Minister addressed the Indian Diaspora.
That the journey of the Indian community in Trinidad and Tobago is about courage. The circumstances your ancestors faced would have broken.
Further, the Indian Prime Minister also announced Overseas Citizenships of India, or the OCI cards, for the 6th generation of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. Meanwhile, the Trinidadian Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisesar, said that they are privileged to welcome the Indian Prime Minister to the Caribbean nation. She also said that the Indian Prime Minister will be honoured with the country's highest honour, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. She further added that both India and Trinidad and Tobago will also sign multiple memorandums of understanding.
You brought hope and calm where there was fear. I say again, this was more than diplomacy. This was an act of kinship. This was an act of shared humanity. This was an act of love. And this is one of the many reasons we are deeply proud to bestow upon you, Excellency, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Our nation's highest honor tomorrow.
Now, following this, the Indian Prime Minister presented the holy water of the Sangam and the Sarayu River from the Mahakumbh and a replica of the Ram Mandir to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Prasad Bisesar. And later, the Indian Prime Minister also took part in a dinner that was hosted by his Trinidadian counterpart. The Indian Prime Minister is on an official visit to the Caribbean nation following an invite from the Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesar. And the Indian Prime Minister will stay on in the island nation between the 3rd and the 4th of July. The visit is particularly significant as it represents the first bilateral visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Trinidad and Tobago since 1999. While this may be his first official trip, the Indian Prime Minister's connection with Trinidad and Tobago goes way back to August 2000 when he had attended the World Hindu Conference at the Cascadia Hotel in Port of Spain. The Indian Prime Minister will next visit Argentina, Brazil, and then again will be headed to Africa, to Namibia, as part of his 5-nation tour.